For anyone else out there who's wondering if I upload this to YouTube, this is a gold 1 Udyr. I can show you his account. I've actually got his OPGG pulled up here. Oh, he's gold 2 right now. Last time I checked, he was gold 1. But this is a high gold, low platinum player. His MMR is somewhere in there. He's an Udyr 1 trick. And he sent me this game saying, hey, I want to learn about pathing and then how to play the late game with Udyr. And so I'm here to shed a little bit of light on that. In this game in particular that I've got highlighted, this is the game we're showing. This is a loss. This game, let's see what runes he ran. He ended up running Conquer with Triumph, Legend Alacrity, and Coup de Grace with Celerity Water Walking. That's fine. He's a Tiger player, and then without further ado, I guess we can just hop back in the game. So whenever I do these coaching sessions, I always do like a lane breakdown. I talk about win conditions, what lanes to gank, how to gank, gank opportunities and whatnot. So we're going to discuss that a little bit. So let's just go ahead and hop on in, I guess. So top lane, we've got Camille versus Akali. So this lane is very tricky in the sense that Akali obviously has her bullshit like invisibility shroud. I think it's her W. But she's very tricky to gank, very hard to gank. I would only go for this gank if she's overextended. So like, I don't know, like I guess we could do something like this. I guess, hold on. Whoop. Hold on, let me see how I do this. I've got a fancy pin tool that I just installed. Okay, it's gonna be the best. Ready? Bam. We can draw now while we coach. We're taking shit to the next level here at Willie P Incorporated. But the only way you can gank this lane is literally if the wave's like frozen up here somewhere. If the wave is like anywhere like here or behind, Akali can just use her big fucking W and she's just going to be safe. The only way, and you're going to have to rely on the Camille a lot. At level 6, however, I will say you can go for the gank. Just because, like, I don't know, at level 6, obviously, the Camille has a lot of gank assist, and she can help you out in that department. But the only way you can really gank this lane is if the Akali really fucks up. So I guess we could just go down. So I guess the next thing we'll talk about, just going down in order here. We've got Udyr versus Kayn in the jungle. Now, the thing with Kayn is really, really weak early on. He doesn't have a lot going for him until he transforms into either blue Kayn or red Kayn. However, I will tell you, he takes raptor camps extremely, extremely fast. Raptor camps. Sorry, I've got a runny nose. If you can't tell, I've got like allergies killing me, so some words come out funny. So just make sure your raptors are cleared all the time. It's not a bad game for Tiamat if you want to rush that. But against that team, I'd still probably run Warrior Enchant. It's up to you. But I don't know. What I'm trying to say is if you do go Tiamat this game, it'd be good for like keeping raptors permanently on clear so Kayn can't pull ahead. Mid lane matchup, we've got Ahri versus Yasuo. This lane is very volatile. It's a very skilled matchup. Yasuo is probably going to be aggressive as fuck, looking for outplay potential, and Ahri's mainly going to be looking to land charms and wait for the wind wall to go down on cooldown and then look for all ins. But I would say Yasuo is the edge. This lane is extremely easy to gank. So if I were you, I don't know, we could, here, let me... I'm trying to get used to this fucking tool. If I were you, just go for ganks from like this angle or come from behind, or potentially like if the wave's frozen up here, you can try and come from this angle. Just the only thing when you're ganking Yasuo is, all right, so let's say this is fucking Yasuo. Whenever you gank Yasuo, never run directly at him because he can dash through you, right? So just make sure to come in from the side or come in from the side. So that way if he's forced to dash, he's going to be forced to dash at an awkward angle. So just keep that in mind whenever you go for the dash or whenever you go for the gank. It'll make a world of difference. Now, in terms of the bot lane matchup, you got Vayne versus Nami. If you didn't know, Vayne just shits on Udyr, so do not take this game to late game or your life's going to be hell. You can really go for a lot of ganks down here. Just be aware of the fact that they scale really hard. You've got Kaisai Bard, on the other hand, who has extremely early game pressure, a lot of dive potential too with Bard ult, Kaisai ult, lots of all-in potential. So what I would say, your game plan for this game is I'd like to see you start red, wolves, blue, go do scuttle, potentially go try and catch the Kayn, and then after you do the Kayn, look to gank mid, because mid's a lot easier to gank than the Akali, as we already established. And then back, get blue or red smite, and then go try and camp bot as hard as you can, because like I said, if you can shut down this bot lane, get your bot lane snowballing, it's going to be a free win. Your win condition this game is getting your bot lane fed. Ahri will not be able to carry against an Akali Vayne. She just won't be able to, so your mid lane is not the win condition. Top lane is not the win condition either, because Akali is going to be able to beat the Camille in a 1v1 if she gets ahead. Even if she doesn't get ahead, if the game just goes even, Akali will always be able to out-trade the Camille, just because Camille, I don't know, Akali's got too much healing for the Camille. And then bot lane, the bot lane matchup, well, like I said, they're your win condition. You have to get them fed so that way you can snowball the early game, get early towers, and then, look to roam them around the map. The first dragon's Mountain Drake, which will help you out a lot to get that first early tower, to also help you get early barons and things like that. So really keep your eyes on the dragon this game. It'll be super important. And Kayn is a scaling champion, which means he's going to outscale you. Literally, that entire team scales really hard. Do not take this thing to late game or you're just going to lose instantly. So just get an early lead. So whenever you're in this position where you know you just instantly lose the late game, your best bet is just to get your bot lane fed, AFK shove the tower, get first tower bot, send your bot lane top, get second tower top, send them mid, get tower mid, and then try and get Baron, Mountain Drakes, Rift Heralds, thing like that to snowball the game and end it. So that's kind of like the pregame analysis. Bot lane's your win condition. Play topside for a little bit for the first like 3 minutes of the game, 3-4 minutes. Get yourself your topside farm. Try and keep the Kayn from snowballing. But beyond that, try and play bot as much as possible this game. That would be my breakdown. So let's just go ahead and speed it up. I'm gonna speed it up. Like I said, what I do is a 3-camp clear and then put some heat on the Kayn, try and pressure him a little bit, keep him from getting AFK farm because Kayn will outscale you. So your job as Udyr, as an early game duelist, is to pressure him as much as possible. Okay, I don't like the fact that you skipped wolves here. You need to be cycling turtle more. I know, so whenever you go buff to buff like that, you're going to get a blue buff immediately, which means you're going to have enough mana to do shit like that. I actually kind of like this clear path, actually. I guess you're expecting the Kayn, so if you didn't, let me turn off Fog of War so we don't get any bias here. But Kayn, a lot of times what Kayn's clear path is he starts Raptors red and then he goes to his bot side. So I guess if you do this clear path, so if you do red, Blast Cone over to blue, Gromp, Wolves, then you could cycle bot and be here in time to do your Raptors to deny the Kayn from being able to counter jungle you really hard. God, my webcam is fucking weird with this like light behind me. I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that. But whatever. But regardless, I kind of like this clear path, actually. So I kind of see what you're doing. So instead of going for the invade, you're just going for a safe thing. As you're doing the wolf here, one thing I want to point out here, because this makes a big difference, is as you're doing the wolf, I want to see you, like, kite the camp. So, like, auto attack it, step back, auto attack, step back, auto attack, step back, auto attack, step back, auto attack, step back. Kite the camp, because by the time you finish Big Wolf, you could be right here, which would save you all this walking time that you're wasting right now. And it'll also save you health and cooldowns and whatnot. So just work on kiting your camps. It makes a hell of a difference. So let's speed things up a little bit. Check on bot lane as you're walking here because, like I said, bot lane's your win condition if they push out. So bot lane's pushing out. I want to see you after Raptors go run and do this camp. Run and do Scuttle and then drop a word somewhere. Okay, this is bad pathing from you. Providing information on the enemy jungler is one of your biggest responsibilities as a jungler. All you've done in this game is stay in your jungle. We have no intel where the Kayn is. None at all. So you're basically saying, hey team, fuck you. I'm not going to tell you where Kayn is. Imagine if instead of doing Krugs, you had walked out, checked on Scuttle. You would have known Kayn was going for this gank bot. You would have been able to like save him a little bit. Okay, this is unfortunate. Let's break this down a little bit. So if you had done Scuttle like I told you, you would have known Kayn was bot. And another side note here, never do Krugs in the early game as Udyr. It takes way too long. Unless you have a Tiamat, do not do Krugs in the early game, period. Period. Unless there is nothing on the map, unless every single objective, dragon, every outer turret, every Rift Herald, unless everything is off the map, do not do Krugs as Udyr. It takes too long. So you see this lane, this gank go bot. Kayn dies. What I want to see you do here is pump it into turtle, press tiger right here. I want to see you press tiger, try and go for a double tiger dot on the Nami. This bot lane, they have nowhere to go except upwards to you, right? The only path is up to you right now because they're trapped between two turrets. Go for a double tiger dot in this bush. Don't flash. Okay. You took way too much damage. What you should have done, let me back this up just so we can see how this gank could have worked and what you could have done differently. So you see the bot lane is overcommitting to a shitty dive, right? Vayne's Condemn is on cooldown. She cannot stun you if you come in here. Right here, what I want to see you do is switch to Tiger. Switch to Tiger here, go for a double dot. If you see the Vayne walking in here, what I want to see you do is hug. I want to see you literally here. Let me go back to this shit. We'll do. I want to see you literally hug right here. Stand right here with the tiger dot. Wait for the Vayne to path out to you. Wait for her to face check you, and then double dot her, and you'll literally get her down to about 50 health, and then flash for the kill if you have to. Although Vayne already flashed, she has nothing to get out. All she has left is her heal, right? So she doesn't have condemn, she can't stun you. She doesn't have flash, she can't get away from you. The only thing she has is Nami, who's got exhaust. But if you get a double dot off, it'll be a kill, and then you can turn it on the Nami, right? So let me just clear this real quick. We'll do this. Shit. We'll do this, then I gotta switch back to cursor, and then we'll play it. So we've already seen this, right? You made a mistake here. You're reaching, son. You're reaching. You're going too far. You shouldn't be doing this, man. Yeah, is what it is. Definitely could have played that better, though. But like I said, all this was preventable. If after you did your Raptors, you went and checked on the Scuttle Crab, you would have seen the Kayn. You would have protected your bot lane from a gank. You could have also potentially gone for a 1v1 on the Kayn. This is bad pathing from you. You need to provide information on the enemy laner. Right here, this is a big waste. After you see that the Camille is TPing top, right? Let me break this down. So right here, oh, I didn't mean to skip back that far. Whoops-a-daisy. You see the Camille backing, you see Kayn going. Right here, you know Camille has TP, don't show top. Whenever you show top like this, this lets their bot lane know, hey, you're telling the enemy team, hey, as the jungler, I'm top man. Listen, do whatever the hell you want on the other side of the map. I'm not here to protect you. Giving this information to the team is a bad decision, so just don't show top. Just not worth it at all. What I like, all right, so what are you building first off? So it looks like you're going into Tiamat. So you started Rejuvenation. Wait, what the hell? All right, let's talk about itemization for a second. I want you to notice, look how much gold you've spent into about 6 different items. Notice how none of them have actually completed an item yet, right? Whenever you start Rejuvenation bead, you have to go for Tiamat. Otherwise, you're wasting 150 gold. So you have to rush Tiamat. Just go longsword, and then do not buy anything until you've completed Tiamat, and then start working on your blue or red smite. Right now, what you've done is you've spent 350 gold on a talisman. You've spent, 350 gold on a longsword, and then you've spent, 150 gold on a refillable, and you've spent 75 gold on a pink ward. What this means is you've invested a lot of gold in something that you're not going to complete for a long time now, especially if you're planning on going Tiamat. Tiamat is now, you've wasted way too much time in gold, so now Tiamat is going to be a useless item because the early power spike it gives you, you're going to buy it way too late in the game. So you're just wasting way too much gold. So this is a big mistake from you itemization wise. Stick with one item, right? Is it like, I don't know. The thing I like to talk about is like, I don't know, like, I don't know if you ever played this game as a kid, but there used to be a game called Bloons Tower Defense, right? So goofy. But it's a game where it's a tower defense game, and there is this thing in the game called Super Monkeys. It was monkeys popping balloons. It's a goofy game. But there used to be this thing called a super monkey. It's always better to invest your gold in the super monkey than buy a shit ton of weaker little towers, right? It's better to get that super monkey, put all your money in a really good item, than spread all your money out across a lot of shitty items that don't actually have an item, that aren't an item yet, if that makes sense. So buy, you know what I mean? I know that's a weird analogy. I don't know if you played that game, but hey, get the super monkey. Don't buy a bunch of little dart monkeys, you know? Okay, I like this dive. I like this gank. This is a good gank from you. That's a really good gank from you. You got yourself 2 kills there, so that's worth. Actually, you only got 1, right? Yeah, the ADC got the other. Ooh, the Bard outplay. That's 2 for 3. It's a really good gank regardless. Now, the only thing you could have done differently, let me back this up and explain it. I want to see you go for more double dots. Double dots is how you win the early game with Udyr. Okay? Plain and simple. So going for this gank, you see they have a pink ward. They don't have vision on you. They are going to walk up to auto attack this ward. Double dot. Why did you go to bear there? Literally, Vayne, if you didn't know, Vayne has one of the shortest auto attack ranges in the game. What you need to do here is walk out of this bush, dot. So go into you've got a Tiger Strike ready, Tiger Striker, then stunner, then put another Tiger Strike on her. Right? Best of both worlds. You get a double dot off, you get the stun off immediately, and you double the damage from your Tiger Strike, right? Now, the only problem, and if you do it this way, that means your Tiger Strike will be on. So, like, if you do Tiger Strike, Bear Slap, Tiger Strike, you're going to be still in Tiger Stance in order to start turning out more Tiger Dots, right? This is the most optimal way to play this. Instead, you waste a Tiger Dot there. Vayne kind of trolls, says, fuck my Nami, condemns you into the Nami. Go for the Vayne here. Yeah, it's just unfortunate. Kayn hit level 6 just because he's been really efficient about clearing. He also got level 6 because of the kill assist there on the ADC. So like I said, that gank could have gone completely differently if you just, you worked on micro a little bit. But it is what it is. Micro is honestly not what wins game, macro is. So what I want to see you do here, start at blue, Gromp, Wolves, red, dragon, gank bot. That's the most optimal path here. Like I said, we don't want to gank at Akali at level 6. We don't want to play top side, so why are you starting at red and pathing top, right? No reason to do it. Too late in the game to go Tiamat, but it is what it is. Like I said, you're wasting too much gold. You got 2 kills, or you got to kill bot though, which kind of is your saving grace this game. But if you didn't get that kill, you would be so far up to, you'd be Alice in the Wonderland, right? I want you to imagine something. Imagine you started at blue, did Gromp. Right now, you would be literally right here, and you'd be in position to do your Raptors, red, Krugs, gank bot, or do dragon, right? You should have started top here. So you asked me how to fix pathing. This is something you can look for, right? Why are you pathing top when there's nothing to get top, right? The odds of you getting a successful gank on Akali are about 20%, and that's only if Akali fucks up, right? And I mean, so this is gold 2, gold 1 elo, so people are like, they're not great at the game, but mechanically they're starting to get better. So I don't think she's going to fuck up big time enough for you to capitalize off that. I want you to watch what happens if you try and go for this top lane gank. Akali's going to W out, and then Kayn might counter gank you, and then she might even get away. Okay? Right? You get the kill, but you have to burn 2 flashes, right? But it's great and all. So since you've committed to top lane, okay, so this is macro 101. You've committed to top lane. Like I said, I wouldn't have gone for the top lane game. Akali fucked up. She didn't respect you as a jungler, right? You got the kill because Akali fucked up. So there's the 20% I was talking about. Since you've committed to top lane, you have essentially said, hey, Kayn, I'm top. Go fuck over my bot lane. Kayn goes bot, kills your bot lane again. So since you're top, the best option for you to do here is get top tower. Akali's dead. You're top. You've got Red Smite, although Red Smite doesn't apply to towers, but you still get the attack damage bonus. So now just go top and try and get top tower. Don't do Herald. Herald's a waste of time in the early game. Herald is best, you only want to go for Herald at about 15 minutes or so in my experience. Early game Heralds don't do enough for you. That was first tower if you stayed top and try to get the tower, or you would have forced Akali's TP either or. I haven't been keeping track of the TP. Hard commit here, you win this. Interesting play from Chick there. What I'd do here, Kayn's really low. You put the scuttle here to protect the dragon pit. If I were you, I would walk up through here, hit the blast cone, go over and sneak a dragon in. I want to show you something. Generally speaking, when junglers do this scuttle, they think the dragon pit is protected because they're like, oh, look, we've got vision right here. There's no way the enemy jungler can come in. If you blast cone over it, they're going to have no idea you're in the pit, and you can sneak the dragon in. And Kayn, I want you to notice Kayn. Kayn's really low. He's not looking to contest dragon right now. This is a free dragon. Right? Should have done dragon here, in my opinion. Whenever the enemy jungler's low like this, and this goes for Baron as well, whenever the enemy's jungler's low, it's a free objective. So the enemies now put the vision in. Go bot here. Yes, you're sneaking the dragon, that's fine, but I'd like to see you go bot here. You have blue smite too. Whenever you go blue smite, so blue smite versus red smite is a scaling smite. Blue smite is an early game gank smite. Whenever you go blue smite, you need to be actively looking to gank lanes, preferably bot lane, because you're looking to gank bot lane and snowball the end. As I said at the beginning, bot lane's your win condition, so you need to be camping the fuck out of bot lane or you're going to get outscaled. Need to protect your bot lane from a gank. If Kane comes bot and dives your bot lane, then you're gonna have some real trouble in Chinatown. All right. God, these allergies. Don't path top whatever you do. You have to play around bot right now. Don't show mid either. It's not worth showing mid for 3 CS. Okay, Kane fucks up. You've got Rift Herald still, right? Use Rift Herald right now to take tower. Yasuo cannot hold you if you summon Rift. This is first tower right now. Summon Rift, summon Rift, summon Rift, summon Rift. Alright, you just let first tower go. Everybody, I want to say, buy the first tower. Look, there it goes. It's out. See the window? You actually just threw it out that window right there. No, but seriously though, I'm not trying to be a dick. I know it sounds like I'm being a dick, but these are the little things that ultimately make up the early game and late game. You finally summon Rift, but it's too late, right? I want to back this up here. I want you to notice something. God, this runny nose, dude. Oh, I guess Akali already got first tower. Whoops, my bad. I didn't even notice that. But you wasted a lot of time. You could have gotten first towers. You could have gotten mid tower a long time ago, shoved in mid wave, and then coordinated a 4-man dive bot with your Ahri, right? But instead, Ahri has to push this wave in, and is stuck in mid lane, right? Now, one thing I want you to know in terms of pathing, this is something you can look to increase as a jungler. The best way to get a bot lane winning is coordinate 4-man, 5-man bot lane ganks with your team. Yeah, that was a waste of Herald. Earlier, it would have been a textbook clean Herald. Now, that was a waste of Herald. Path bot, you have to get bot lane ahead. Once again, bot lane is your win condition this game. So you're doing the Raptors, that's fine. Do not go to his Krugs, whatever you do. Oh my god, bro. You have to play bot. What if Kane ganks bot right now? What happens? You lose the game. Literally, you lose the game if Kane ganks bot right now. Yep. Because what's going to happen is this shit's going to happen. And then they're going to get this tower. And then the Vayne's going to get really big. Or I guess Yasuo got all the kills here. And now you're going to have to deal with Fed Yasuo all game. Congratulations. This all happened because you decided you wanted 160 gold on Krugs. You know what I mean? It is your job as a jungler to prevent dives and whatnot. Like I said, I'm sorry if I'm coming off as a dick. I'm not trying to be a dick. I've just got allergies and shit, so I'm a little grumpy, you know? Sorry, dude. I'm just doing it to help you. I promise. I love you. I love you, man. Right now, your team is up shit creek without a paddle, as my grandfather would say. You have to get some picks here. Good? This is what you need to do. Stay on the Ahri. Good. I like the flash. Good. Bard fucks you over. Classic, dude. I like the balls on you. You're like man mode right now. What you need to do now is, what's the next dragon? Mountain Drake? 20 seconds on the Mountain Drake? Okay. Check on wolves. Go do mountain. You won't be able to get this tower. You don't have the minion wave in time. So just do wolves. Go do scuttle. Push in bot, and then go do dragon. You could also take Grump. Grump just respawn. Nice. So right now, the game is actually just about dead even. The only thing the enemy team has over you is they have 1 tower advantage, which is why they've got the gold advantage right now. You're in a pretty good spot right now. Commit to the Vayne here. The enemy team all just walked in the pit. Walk up and try and contest the Mountain Drake, I think. I don't know why Camille just walked in and died. Y'all can fight this 100%. Although the only problem is you're sitting on a lot of gold, so just be aware of that. Kane is trolling. He's got nowhere to go. You could have done what you could have done right here is just walk up and stun him. This, like I said, this Kane is kind of trolling. I don't know what he's doing. He's playing with fire right now. Yeah, so it gets you. You need to leave. Yeah, that's fine. Itemization-wise, what are we going for? You got a Triforce. So you just got your Triforce. You have actually a pretty early Triforce. Not early per se, but it's reasonably fast for considering the fact you went Tiamat. So now that you've got Triforce, a 19-minute Triforce, you're going to have a huge power spike. Look to actively fight the enemy team. Whenever you get your Triforce power spike, you have about a 2-minute window when you're overpowered as fuck. Baron's coming up, so you have to start playing around Baron a little bit. Disgusting. Red team double kill. I feel like I'm Russian when I hear this voice. Red team double kill. What I want to see you do right now is do your topside camps, go do scuttle and set up vision right here just to make sure the enemy team doesn't try anything cheeky and get the dragon. Both teams have Mount Drake, which means that Baron's going to follow really fast to either team. Ari Strolling gets caught. You should have done scuttle here.
There are two sides to every issue. My side.
Okay. Nothing really crazy happening. Be very careful farming Krugs when Baron's up, because if the enemies somehow like had vision in this bush or some shit, then they would just rush Baron immediately. Just be aware of that. But I want to pause this game here and explain something. Did you see how you pathing top to the Krugs is what started the snowball bot? Which is why all of this is happening. All of this is happening because you decided to path top when bot lane is the most important lane for you to win at in this game, right? All this happened as a result of your pathing, right? And I mean, I'm not gonna say for sure whether you would have been able to turn the fight down bot, but you sure as hell would have helped the fight down bot. You know what I mean? So like all this is like you are in turn responsible for everything that's happening right now. You and the Ahri both, because Ahri's not really roaming at all, but your top laner's kind of boosted as well. But it's gold. Like this is just what happens, you know. As we already established, you automatically lose the late game, so your team in this position, this is looking really grim for y'all. See if you can get a flank here. Okay. Kane's bot. Their jungler's bot, so you could try and sneak a Baron or some shit if Camille didn't int there. Okay, you don't want to flank right here. When it's an even fight, so when you're losing and it's a 4v4, you lose. The only way you win a fight when you're behind is either if the enemies overcommit to a dive, or if you have the numbers advantage, or if someone gets picked or something, right? So, like, since this is a 4v4 and you're behind, you automatically lose. Don't look to fight. You're going to win this fight because it's 5v4, right? This is League 101. What the hell, dude? Your team should be ashamed by that. Holy shit. Alright, so you just got mopped up just because, like, you're really squishy right now. But, I mean, that's not your fault. Like, I don't know, your team should have dove with you. Just a lot of communication errors. But the game is pretty much over at this point. The mistakes have already been made, and the damage has already been done by your pathing and macro, so now you're kind of like donezo, you know what I mean? The only way you guys come back is if the enemy team throws, or if you somehow manage to like flash steal the Baron, then you can stall out the game long enough to farm back up. But since the enemy team outscales you, I don't think you have any hope at this point. I mean, I'm kind of just speeding it up because, like, right now, the enemy team, the only way they lose this game is if they fuck up big time. Don't fight Vayne alone when you're behind. You're going to get clapped every time. Vayne's really good against Udyr. Lol, the enemy team said, fuck you. Okay. They get the Baron, and then I'm going to guess they just run it down, right? Yeah. Feels bad, man. Alright, so like I said, pathing is something that definitely needs to be improved on. And another thing I noticed this game is you didn't really provide vision about the enemy Kayn. That's something that you really need to do. And here, let's just do something real quick. I got an idea, boys. Let's go to, what's this thing called? Rift Kit, right? This thing is, so I'm going to explain basically the easiest way to provide vision on enemy laners. Shit, man. Okay, here we go. So this is going to be the blue side path, and I'll do the red side path in a minute. But try and keep up, because I'm going to explain. So the first major thing I want to talk about is providing information on the enemy jungler. How to do that in the early game, and how to do it while efficiently clearing your jungle. And this is something that, you know, like I do a lot on my stream, but I don't always explain why I do this path. Now, unfortunately, in patch 8.9, a lot of jungle changes are happening, so I'm going to have to update this for 8.9. But in general, this is what you want to do. So if you're blue side, this is almost always what I do. So I do a 3-camp clear. I do my red. I do my wolves. I do my blue, and then I walk out. I do scuttle. Right? Unless I'm really looking to hyper invade and like skipping, because sometimes you can skip scuttle and go straight to you can go, is this an undo? No, that's a reset everything. I don't want to do that. You can skip scuttle and go straight to the red to try and contest them, but the standard path is 3-camp clear and then do scuttle. After you do scuttle, whichever lane is overextended, so let's say your mid lane is really pushed up, right? He's really asking for a gank. You want to go walk here, drop a ward right here, and check on raptors. Don't do the raptors because you can get collapsed on by the enemy mid laner. But if your mid lane is overextended, just make sure to provide vision and just make sure, you know, you get a solid idea of whether, you know, the enemy jungler has done raptors or not. If your top lane is overextended, so let's say your mid lane's safe, it's like in a safe spot, and your top lane is overextended, after doing scuttle, I want you to run top, drop a ward right here to protect your top lane from a gank, right? And then after you do this, so whichever one you do, whether it's placing a ward here or a ward here, I want you to run back into your jungle, do grump, and then run back to base, press B. By the time you do this, you're going to have about 620 gold. Wait for blue smite or red smite, depending on what you want. Then run out here. So by the time you do this, you've done a 4-camp clear. The only 2 camps you have up are raptors and Krugs. I want you to run out here, do scuttle, come up here, drop a word right here, and so somewhere around here, so that way you can get vision on, you know, the ward by grump that everybody does. Just place a ward right here. If the grump is alive, take the grump. If it's not alive, then just place the ward there, and then that'll give you information letting you know that the enemy jungler's already done grump and he's already, you know, looking to gank or something. So after you do this, after you do the grumps, provide vision, run back into your jungle, you can go one of 2 ways here. You can either go bot. So say if your bot lane's like really overextended and they're like in a really good spot to get ganked, run bot and then go look to do Krugs and then hover right here as you're doing Krugs, kite the Krugs camp right here. If you see the enemy jungler come bot, then you'll be here to protect them, right? The other option you have after you check on grump is if your mid laner is still overextended or is overextended for the first time, what you want to do is you want to run to raptors and then do your raptors right here, kite your raptor camp out to right here. So if the enemy jungler comes to do comes to gank mid, you can just run here and be here to protect them. That is how this is the early game path that will allow you to provide information on the enemy jungler while simultaneously clearing your jungle as efficiently as possible and potentially counter jungling and invading the enemy jungler and going for early game pressure. This is the most optimal path for Udyr right now. Like I said, this is all subject to change. And I'm going to run through it again, but this time we're going to do the opposite side of the map. So let's say you're on red side. So the optimal path for red side would be 3-camp clear. So blue, wolves, red, right? Run out, contest scuttle or invade, depending on the matchup. If you want to invade, skip scuttle, go straight to the enemy's blue buff and look to invade. But after that, check on your laners. So after you do scuttle, check on laners. If your mid lane's overextended, place a ward right here, because this will let you know if the enemy jungler walks out here, or you could place the ward in the river. It's up to you depending on the jungler. If it's somebody like Kane who can walk through walls or whatever, or it's a Zac, place the ward right here. If it's somebody who has to go for a normal gank route, which is either up to river or behind like near raptor camp, place it in the river. It depends on the game. The other option you have after doing Rift Scuttle is if your top lane's overextended, run top and place a ward right here to protect your top lane from a gank. After you do this, run here and do Raptors, and then after you do your Raptors, go back to base, buy your Blue Smite or Red Smite, run out through here, do Scuttle. Mind you, I want to stress something very important. Whenever you're doing this route, you're gonna have your Gromp alive. Do Scuttle first, so that way you get information out on the enemy jungler first before you go back into your jungle and do your camp. So do Scuttle. Go check on the enemy Raptors or the enemy Krugs, depending on which lane is overextended. Once again, if your mid lane's overextended, go check on Raptors and place a ward here, because you're gonna have your second charge of ward up by the time this happens. Or if your bot lane is overextended, then I want you to walk through here, drop a ward in this tri bush, and go check on Krugs. and potentially counter gank if you think it's a good idea, depending if you win the 1v1 against the enemy jungler and whatnot. So go counter gank, provide vision on the enemy camps, and then after you do this, go to your Grump. By the time all this happens, it'll be about 420. 420 blaze it, boys. And by the time that happens at 4:30, your wolves will respawn. And then after you do 4:30, or after you do your wolves for the second time, go back to base, get double longsword, come back here, and then do your raptors, because your raptors will respawn, and then do scuttle, and then come back down to your first buff, which will be respawning at about 6:30, 6:40. This is the optimal clear path for the early game that provides a lot of information on the enemy jungler. And like I said, you can you just rewind the video or rewind the VOD or whatever if you wanna see it again. But this is the best way to not only efficiently clear your jungler and track the enemy jungler. So that's point one I want to make, is you need to track the enemy jungler. And the other big thing I want you to know, I just want to have a brief discussion here. Let me just pull up, hold on, let me pull up Notepad real quick. I don't know why, hold on. Sometimes I have to go out to my desktop to pull up the windows, like my taskbar just doesn't work, but let's pull up Notepad. I'm going to make a list of every responsibility the jungler has, because it seems like you're really good about ganking and seeing gank opportunity. You're just not good about other things. So your responsibility, first and foremost, this is arguably the most important job of the jungle, is tracking enemy jungler. This is the most important thing in the early game, and this is what separates good junglers from great junglers. You have to be able to do this, and you have to be able to, predict the enemy's movements and, make sure they don't get free ganks off bot, right? So this is the number thing. Number two is vision. Protecting your laners from ganks and telling them where the fuck the enemies are, whether they're rotating and whatnot. The third big thing in the early game is getting first tower. First tower controls the early game. It's why bot lane is so important right now. What's up, Emerson? That's my little sister, y'all. But it's the most important thing, and then you also have to make sure that you maintain pressure. You also have to know what your win condition is / lanes that are gankable. Last game, your win condition was bot lane. I did not see you camp bot at all, right? You need to know what your win condition is, and you need to stress that, right? So, understanding that. The other thing you need to know is protecting from dives. So last game, for example, whenever you saw your bot lane shoved under tower, whenever you see a huge minion wave crashing in a tower and you see that your bot lane's really low, you have to bot, or not even bot lane, if it's top or mid, depending on the lane, you have to pass to that lane immediately to protect them. Otherwise, what's going to happen is the enemy jungler is going to come dive not the bot lane, but whatever lane is about to get dived, they're going to come dive that lane, kill that laner, and then put a shit ton of damage on the tower, which in turn means you're threatening losing first tower. There are multiple times that game when you could have protected your bot lane from dives, but you didn't. The other thing you have to do, I had something on the tip of my tongue that you didn't really do that well last game either. Shit, I forgot, dude. I forgot. There's something else that the jungler has to always fucking do that I didn't really see you do that well this game. Oh yeah, unfreezing. Unfreezing waves. This is something that is a little bit more advanced. But whenever you see that your bot lane or your mid lane or your top lane, whatever lane it is, whenever you see they're really low and they need to back and spin gold, but the wave keeps getting shoved under tower, one thing you need to do as a jungler is go to that lane and help them push it into the tower so your laner gets a safe back. There are multiple times last game, I didn't mention this in the VOD because I didn't want to freak you out or anything, but your Camille kept getting shoved under tower against Akali, and Akali can dive the Camille really easily. You could have helped her unfreeze the lane and shove it in. Same with your bot lane. Another thing I want to let you know is you need to prioritize ganking over farming. Last game, remember when I said when you went to Krugs, you went to the enemy jungle's Krugs when you should have gone and helped your bot lane, potentially got a gank off and protected them from a dive. You prioritized farm over ganking, which is honestly what started the snowball for the enemy team, which is why everything went to shit. So you got to keep that in mind. And then the other thing is a side note. This is just Udyr things. I want to see you use turtle more when you're doing your jungle camps. Whenever, especially when you have blue buff, you need to use your turtle more because you're just coming out of the jungle too low on health. The other thing I want to see is you go for double dots in the early game. Double dots, I mistyped it there, but go for double dots in the early game. And then I don't know, like itemization wise, go for Super Monkey. Remember what I talked about earlier? Put all your eggs in one basket when it comes to items, right? It's not good to like, I don't know. I invest a lot, and there's a famous quote: diversify your portfolio, right? Fucking spread your money out across a lot of commodities, so that way you have the highest chance of winning, because one of those commodities is sure to take off, right? And it's also safer because if say one tanks, you'll be safer, right? That's not the case in League. Put all of your money towards a single item. Don't invest in multiple things, right? Do not diversify is what I'm saying. Literally put all your money in a single item. Instead of early game, you literally had Rejuvenation Bead, Talisman, refillable potion, pink word, and a fucking machete and a hunter's talisman, right? You know what I mean? Like, you had 6 items, bro. Like, that should never happen. So just work on itemization a little bit. But beyond that, the other thing I want to see you try is try warrior into try rather than Tiamat try. I just want to see how you like it, because I feel like for your playstyle, warrior will fit you better, because you're not very efficient about farming. So Tiamat is honestly a waste of gold for you, because Tiamat's only good when you're looking to AFK farm or split push a lot. So try warrior enchant instead of Tiamat. So like just skip Tiamat. So start the game with Hunter's Machete and Refillable Potion and go straight into warrior enchant. Don't buy a Tiamat and then go warrior enchant and then Triforce. Try that instead of Tiamat, and tell me how you like it. But I think for your playstyle will fit you better. So that's all I've got for now. Hey, hope you learned a thing or two. I might upload this to YouTube though, so hey, if you wouldn't mind after you see this, let me know what you think about that. Because I feel like there's a lot of points I touched on here that a lot of people, you know, separates gold and platinum players from diamond players. So hey, but yeah, hope you learned a thing or two, and let me know, man. So have a good one, buddy.